Welcome to today's video. If you are aiming for top grades in your paper 2 for the 9609 ASN A-level business exams, then you are in the right place. We are going to dive into some key strategies that will help you write strong, strategic and analytical answers that stand out. In this video, I'll be sharing some tips that will guide you through the process of crafting responses that not only demonstrate your knowledge but also your ability to think critically and apply business concepts effectively. So, if you are ready to boost your performance and give your paper 2 answers that extra edge, let's get started. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your friends. Let's make sure all succeed in your business studies. Let's take a quick look at what you can expect from paper 2. This paper is all about applying what you have learned to real world business situations, and it's structured around a case study. You will have 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete the exams. There are two main questions, question 1 and question 2, each divided into parts A to D. This means you will be answering four parts for each question. The key here is to show how well you can apply business concepts like SWOT analysis or marketing strategies to the case study you are given. For example, if the case study is about a company launching a new product, you might be asked to apply concepts like market segmentation or pricing strategies to assess the company's approach. Remember, it's not just about writing down everything you know, it's about using the concepts to make sense of the situation in the case study. The more you practice applying what you know to different scenarios, the better prepared you will be. Now, let's break down how your answers are going to be assessed in paper 2 and how to use your time effectively. There are four key assessment objectives or AOs that you need to focus on when writing your answers. AO 1, knowledge. This is all about demonstrating that you know the business concepts, theories and terminology. For example, if you are asked about pricing strategies, you need to know concepts like penetration pricing or skimming pricing. AO2, application. This is where you apply what you know to the specific case study. For instance, if the case study is about a tech startup, you might apply concepts like market segmentation to explain how the company targets its customers. AO3, analysis. This requires you to break down the situation, looking at the pros and cons or cause and effect. So, if you are analyzing a company's marketing strategy, you will evaluate its strengths and weaknesses and why it works or doesn't work in the context of the case. AO4, evaluation. Here you make a judgment. You will assess what's the best course of action. For example, you might say that a certain marketing strategy is the most effective because it reaches a larger audience, but it may also have risks that need to be considered. As for timing, it's essential to manage your time wisely. Spend about 15 minutes reading through the case study and planning your answer. This is when you will decide which business concepts to apply. Then, for each question, spend around 30 minutes writing your answer. This way, you stay on track and ensure that each part of the question gets the attention it deserves. By following this structure, you will be able to produce focused, well thought out answers that show you understand the theory and how to apply it in real life scenarios. A strong start means setting up a strong structure for your answer. One of the best ways to do this is by using structured paragraphs. Here's a simple way to organize each point. First, start with a clear idea or concept. For example, if you're talking about a company's pricing strategy, you could start with something like the company uses a penetration pricing strategy. Second, explanation. Next, explain what this concept means. So, in this case, you might say penetration pricing involves setting a low initial price to attract customers and gain market share quickly. Third, application. Then link it directly to the case study. You could say the company's decision to price their new product at a lower rate helps them compete with established brands in a crowded market. Fourth, analysis. Finally, dive deeper. Analyze why this approach works or doesn't. For instance, this strategy can be effective in the short term to increase market share, but it may not be sustainable in the long term if the company struggles to maintain profitability. Avoid jumping straight into a judgment right away. Instead, build up to your conclusion through a logical flow. This way, your answer has depth and is backed by solid reasoning. In the end, your judgment will be stronger because you have led up to it and with clear explanations and analysis. When answering case study based questions, it is crucial to provide deep, relevant application. This means going beyond general statements and connecting the theory directly to the specifics of the case study. For example, use real figures or named departments mentioned in the case study. If the case study talks about a company with a marketing department, don't just say the business will improve its marketing. Instead, refer to specific details like the marketing department's budget has been increased by 20% this year, which will allow for more targeted social media campaigns to reach younger audiences. Avoid general answers like the business will be more profitable. This doesn't show much understanding. Instead, explain how and why the business will be more profitable. You could say with the increase in marketing budget, the business expects a 15% rise in sales over the next quarter as they focus more on digital ads that have proven effective in previous campaigns. By making your application specific and relevant to the case, you show that you fully understand the business situation and are able to link theory to real life scenarios. When you are building your evaluation, it's important to balance your arguments carefully. This means presenting both the pros and cons of a decision or strategy and weighing them up against each other. For example, if the case study discusses a company introducing a new product, you should look at both the short term and long term impact. In the short term, the product might attract a lot of attention and generate sales quickly. However, in the long term, the company may face challenges like high production costs or competition from other businesses. When you conclude, make sure your judgment is clear and directly linked to the business scenario. For instance, while the short-term increase in sales looks promising, the long-term risks of unsustainable production costs could hurt the company's profitability. Therefore, the company should consider improving its supply chain to reduce costs before scaling up production. Also, remember to avoid repeating points. Each argument should bring something new to the table, whether it's a different perspective or a deeper level of analysis. This way, your evaluation is well rounded and compelling, showing that you have thought about the decision from every angle. To achieve the best possible answers in paper 2, it is crucial to use the case study fully. Don't leave any part of it unexplored. Annotate the case study insert. As soon as you get the case study, take a moment to highlight relevant data. This could include key figures, specific departments mentioned, or any strategic goals of the. For example, if the case study mentions a company's goal to increase its market share by 5% in the next year, highlight this as it is a key objective you will need to refer to in your answer. Next, connect answers to all parts of the case. Every part of the question, whether it is about objectives, constraints, or market information, should be directly linked to specific data from the case. So, if you are asked about the company's pricing strategy, connect it to the market information provided in the case study. For example, the company is facing high competition in the market, so its pricing strategy of offering discounts aligns with its objective of gaining market share quickly. Next, link data between appendices. Often the case study will include appendices with additional data like financial figures or market research. Linking these details between the main case and the appendices you can give your answers more depth. For instance, if one appendix shows a rise in production cost and another shows a decline in sales, you could analyze the relationship and how they impact the company's overall strategy. By thoroughly engaging with the case study, you will demonstrate a deep understanding of the scenario and be able to apply your knowledge more effectively. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid when answering case study questions in paper 2. Knowing these will help you stay on track and avoid losing valuable marks. Rushing into writing without planning. One of the biggest mistakes is starting to write your answer too quickly without reading and planning first. Take about 15 minutes to understand the case study. Highlight key data and plan your response. This will make your answer more structured and focused. For example, if you rush, you might miss important details like the company's objectives or constraints, which are critical for answering the question properly. Focusing on unrelated theory. Another mistake is talking about theory that doesn't apply to the case study. For instance, if the case study is about a retail company's marketing strategy, don't start talking about unrelated topics like leadership theories. Stick to the theories that are relevant to the case study, such as marketing strategies or pricing models. Overusing one side of the arguments. It's important to balance your arguments. If you only talk about the positives, you will miss the chance to critically analyze the situation. Let's say the case study mentions a new product launch. You should discuss both the potential benefits like increased sales and the possible risks such as production issues or competition. A one-sided answer doesn't show the depth of your analysis. Ignoring financial or strategic context when relevant. If the case study includes financial data or strategic objectives, don't ignore them. For example, if the case study mentions that the company is facing rising costs, this could be a key factor in evaluating its pricing strategy or cost cutting options. Not addressing financial or strategic context means you are missing an important part of the analysis. By avoiding these mistakes, you will be able to write a well-rounded, thoughtful, and focused answers that demonstrate both your knowledge and ability to apply it. Now let's discuss some high scoring student habits. These are the strategies that successful students use to maximize their marks. If you adopt these habits, you will see your performance improve. Use mini plans before answering. Successful students always plan before they start writing. A quick mini plan helps you organize your thoughts and ensures you stay focused. For example, if you are asked about a company's pricing strategy, you could quickly jot down what the company is currently doing, what theory applies, how it impacts the business, the pros and cons. This way, you're not jumping into writing without a clear direction. Apply knowledge precisely. Top students don't just throw in random business terms or theories, they use them precisely to explain the case study details. For example, if the case study mentions a company increasing its prices, you might use the theory of price elasticity of demand to explain how the price increase could affect customer demand. It's about using the right concepts at the right time. Keep analysis logical and progressive. Your analysis should follow a clear logical flow, with each point building on the last. Start by identifying the problem or issue. Then analyze the potential solutions or outcomes and end with a conclusion. For example, if you are analyzing the impact of a new product launch, first discuss market research, then analyze expected sales, and finally evaluate long-term sustainability. This makes your answer easier to follow and more persuasive. Use linking phrases for clarity. High scoring students know how to connect their ideas clearly using linking phrases. Phrases like, on the other hand, therefore, this suggests, or in contrast, help guide the reader through your argument. For instance, if you're contrasting two different strategies, you might say, on the other hand, while strategy A may increase short term sales, strategy B focuses on long term growth, which might be more sustainable. By incorporating these habits into your writing, you will be able to structure your answers more effectively. Keep your analysis sharp and present your ideas in a logical, easy to follow manner. As we wrap up, here are some final tips to help you achieve top marks in your A-level business exams. Practice full questions under timed conditions. One of the best way to prepare is to simulate exam conditions. Set a timer and complete full questions just like you would in the exams. This helps you get used to the time pressure and ensures you manage your time effectively. For example, if you have 90 minutes for two questions, try to spend 30 minutes per question, ensuring you leave some time at the end to review your answers. Use peer or self-assessment with mark schemes. After practicing, assess your own work or exchange it with a classmate. Look at the mark scheme to check where you can improve. If you are unsure, you can always connect with me for detailed feedback. Feel free to email me at nitindhareshwar@gmail.com for personalized feedback on your answers to ensure you are on the right track. Focus on the quality of evaluation. Don't just state your points, evaluate them. High scoring students provide in depth analysis and justification for their opinions. For example, when discussing a company's new strategy, you don't just say the strategy could work. You analyze the potential benefits, the risks, and the long term impact on the business, concluding with a well supported recommendation. Always reinforce context use. Every point you make should be linked to the case study's specific context. Avoid generic answers. Instead, refer directly to the case's data, such as financial figures, business objectives, or market trends. This shows the examiner that you can apply theory directly to the scenario. By practicing these tips, you will not only prepare effectively but also fine tune your skills for the exam. Keep practicing, keep improving, and good luck on your journey to top grades. And that wraps up today's lesson on getting top grades in paper 2 9609 AS and A level business. I hope you found the insights valuable and that you are now feeling more confident in applying these concepts to your AS and A level business studies. Remember, it's all about understanding the core principles and practicing consistently. Don't rush the process and keep going one step at a time. Good luck on your business journey. You have got this. And if you ever need further guidance, feel free to revisit the videos I have shared with you. They are there to help you strengthen your knowledge. If you found this video useful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends who might also benefit, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and expert advice on business for A levels. Stay focused, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. Best of luck with your studies and take care. Let me know in the comments what topics you want to dive into next. Catch you soon. Bye bye.